do some stream tech stuff. Make sure everything's working right. First, I need to make sure that YouTube does not have the music. First, I need to make sure that YouTube does not have the music. First, I need to make sure that. All right, I believe that is true. Music. And then, less important, let's see if Twitch does have the music. Significantly less important. Yeah, I believe I hear. Yeah, I believe I hear. Yeah, a few tracks. All right, sweet, cool. Stream health check accomplished. All right, what's up next? I gotta remember what's up next. So, I've done a lot since the last stream. I'm not entirely sure what that is. I didn't make a good break point, and I've been kind of just doing it live. Oh no, I don't have my drink. Oh, that's fine. So, same premise. We still have GPT-5, Claude 4.8. Ooh, there's an asterisk. Why is there an asterisk? And then Gemini. Good old Gemini. It's doing its best. Gemini has had a bit of a redemption arc. But we got these all trying to continue the project. Need to definitely do some clears and stuff. And I don't remember what these two chats are. I'll be honest. That's another GPT-5. So what? I got to get my bearings real quick. Apologies for that. But that's just the dev experience. You walk away for 3 or 4 days and you're kind of like, huh? Especially whenever you're doing it in multi-passes like I'm doing. Makes it even harder. Because it's like, who did what? What's in the GPT repo versus the Claude repo versus the Gemini repo? So this looks like aligning with the thingy. It would be kind of nice. Can I update the status line? Show the current session configuration and token usage status line configured, which, yeah. Can you update the status line for us to show the context, directory, and last edits? Last edit time stamp? That'd be cool. Let's see if they can do that for me. I believe one of the major things that I had done here at the end is inside. Well, I did download the newest Epic Game Launcher 5.8, but I don't think I want to swap over to it. Repo. One of the major things I did is I tried to create. I mean, these docs are getting out of hand. I've been trying to use continuation docs to keep things like whenever I do a chat reset so I can like know what's going on. But I didn't keep them maintained very well. I kind of just thought the AI would, and I didn't notice it was just creating new docs instead of updating the existing ones. So now it's like, what the hell, right? It's just what the hell. And it's like this in all the repos. And so I had GPT-5 compare all the claimed statements from the docs from all the repos, just like the work it claimed to be done, and combine that so that I could see like a matrix, which I haven't looked at. So let's look at that. A features matrix of what's done by what, allegedly. Because just because the AI claims it's done doesn't mean it's actually done. And like I said, I haven't looked at this. So let's see what we got here. And then it created like a direction. Like it encapsulated all of everything's attempts into one so that like they should all get all the same functionality. So that's kind of the thoughts there. I'm thinking that I'm going to start this stream off by just testing what we have made and seeing if it's all actually like on the up and up. Yo, Zelda, what's up? Thanks for joining in. So Scenario and investigation. Let's see. Let's check out this branch matrix before we do any of the testing. So foundation and rules. So it's 5.7, dice are set up, character sheets are done, networks set up, sanity rules, foundation. Oh, looks like GPT-5 is missing some of those. Interesting. I wish this broke down like subcategories. Maybe it will as we go down further. Bouts of madness. Gemini has them done. One of them has a pretty cool bouts of madness, and I don't remember which one it is. Maybe it's Gemini's. That I'm really excited about. All right, so scenario and investigation. They all have the world, entities, and facts. They all have backwards chain setup. They all have monsters, archetype, and weakness generation. They all have lock and key complication.
Drink water.
Bring me water, please. Can you give me Wawa's?
Oh, come on.
Please, I don't have any drink.
I'm about to start.
Please.
I'm about to start.
Please.
Wait until I'm finished.
Hey, Alan hit it first. I didn't see Alan hit the first. Hi, Alan. Alan, hopefully you're able to like quasi watch because I'm about to start testing these, and one of them is super cool. I don't remember which one. I was here before you are. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. You saw me jump into the chat, and you're like, "Oh, hey, he's going live." I did that specifically so you would see. Because I was like, hey, he's not going to get the notification from YouTube since I'm on the other channel, so I'll go into the Discord, that way he can see it. Blink 3 times if you need help. Oh, I need help, Dragooks. I need lots of help. But for what? You may never know. Playing everything is crap. I saw that. The game looked pretty good from the store page. How are you liking it? All right, so we have, for the scenario, we got entities, facts, backwards change, monster setup, lock and key, and the lock and key has been kind of a pain in the ass because none of the games have the concept of a container. Also, how's the music working? I asked that and then the music stopped. So it's switching songs. YouTube's supposed to not have music. I tried to double check it at the start of the stream. I think it's looking good. And then Twitch is supposed to have the music playing. That way I can try to play actual music since Twitch doesn't care as much. Difficulty solvable policing. So this concept is the idea that on easy and medium, it's always solvable. And then on hard, you can like mess things up and lose. Playable text loop is done on all of them. Storylet system. I don't understand how Claude has it and others don't, because I thought the storylet system was done by Claude 5 by Fable before I did the split, but maybe it wasn't. I definitely know that it's got a pretty good story system. I played the demo a while back. It's super unique, Survivors-like, where you don't just face waves of enemies. Instead, each entity has specific evolutions, and some are aggressive, some run away, some are defensive, and you have to evolve to be strong enough to beat 3 bosses. Nice. Have you seen Meat Swap? I think it is. I think you have. But it's a co-op one that kind of reminds me of Mycopunk, but it's like as you defeat monsters, you get to pick up pieces of the monsters to like form yourself. It's kind of a neat idea. All right. Research, search, hint chain. What do you mean not called out and not called out? This, okay, I'm kind of confused because this and this seem like the same thing. I think they all have this. I don't know. Passive perception, hidden objects. Yeah, so this is what I've been fighting with lately. It's making it so that spot hiddens aren't shown in the side as like an action the user can take. They just happen automatically. Because otherwise, spot hidden is available and it is only available in rooms that have something to search for. And so it's like, oh, I can spot hidden here, and you just like spam the spot hidden. And so I'm trying to get that set up to where it automatically does the spot hidden when you walk into a room, but it does so on the server and it doesn't tell the player that it did anything. And then if you have a hint, like if an NPC or a book says that there's an item in a location, then you have a search option that just rolls the spot hidden. Like it's just spot hidden by a different name. Adaptive clue recovery. This is a thing that I really want. It's so like the example I told the AI is like, if I'm told that this mobster has a hint and the players go talk to the mobster, but they did like an intimidate and they failed and then it caused like a fight and they like killed or hospitalized the mobster. Then adaptively create a journal that didn't exist before and place it in the mobster's like bedroom or something that you can then go and find. You know, just like a way for the game to feel like tabletop, because like that was something that I was thinking about where I'm like, the DM tries to cater the experience to how the players play. And while I'm not trying to set up that infrastructure necessarily, so like, oh, the players are murder hobos, let's always have cultists for them to fight or something, right? Like, I'm not trying to go that far, but I am trying to be like, if they do something that blocks the story, can you automatically unblock it? Can you procedurally unblock it? And I'm hoping that doesn't confuse the AI on the difficulty solvability piece, because I think it will. Since like the difficulty solvable, what I'm wanting is like on easy and medium. If this is the last NPC that knows the hint, and like you do a fast talk, it has like an increasing chance to annoy the guy. Like if you're just like think of somebody like fast talks you, and you don't fall for it, like you'll still talk with them, and if they just keep like trying to like trick you, eventually like, dude, come the fuck on. I'm fuck off, get out of here. I'm tired of your shit, right? And so in the easy and medium, I don't want that to happen. If it's the last guy that knows it and you intimidate them, instead of them becoming hostile and getting mad at you, he says like, hey, easy/medium blocker, you can keep talking to the guy. Like, but on all difficulties, I want it to adapt. So if you're on easy or if you're on hard, if you kill the guy or you fight the guy that knows the information and he's no longer able to tell you, then somehow fix it. Like, just because it's on like easy, like, I don't know. If they're on easy and you literally fight the NPC, they're not going to talk to you anymore, right? That's kind of the idea there. All right, so the time, doom, and consequences. This one is another one that some of the AIs have done better and some of them have not. The idea is like, at some point, the bad thing happens. And so we try to keep the players grouped together in like a relatively the same time period. So if you do an action that takes an hour, you got to wait for your buddy to do an action that takes an hour. But if you do like a 30-minute action, you can go ahead and take another 30-minute action or so. Like it just tracks how far ahead in the time you are. So if it's 8 in the morning and you do a 30-minute action, it still stays at 8 in the morning until the other party member also does a 30-minute action. Then it would progress to 8:30. And then at some point in the game, a bad thing happens. Like the game's over, right? You're against the clock. And I want there to be like some pacing, some events that happen, stuff like that. So that's kind of what this section is talking about. Multiplayer. Yeah, so this turns out was pretty false. I found a set of skills that I can add into the AI to make it better. Like, skills are just like pre-made instructions that give it like additional context. And right now, whenever I had it do an evaluation of its own code, what's happening is the server is sending all the information back to the player. So like as player one, like me and Alan are in a game, it sends to me all the information that I know and Alan knows. But then the UI just filters it by the information I know. So as an honest player, I only see my info. But if I was like messing around with the backend state or like trying to cheat or something, I could see Alan's info. It's a co-op game. It's not that big of a deal to anti-cheat. But it should be handled correctly. It should only send me my info. So that's something that needs to be fixed at some point. It's not high on the list. In fact, hold on. I should have opened a notepad to take general notes about things. Wait. Fill this out / general notes. I feel like there was something else I said earlier before this. General notes. Remember to optimize the replication of information that is only relevant to the player. The last AI check said all info is being sent to everyone, but then filtered by the active player or the local player, the current player, the client, and then filtered by the client player. Yeah, I'll use that verbiage. 3D interactions and levels. Some of these are good, some of these are bad. Everything seems fine. Inventory items. Yeah, the inventory is not very good right now. It quasi exists. There's no combat setup yet. Shared direction from all three. Diverge to resolve. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Let's get in and test these out. I want to see how these are looking. That's what I want to do. Oh wait, what's this? What's the manifesto thingy? Is this just all of them? Yeah, this is just all of them. Kind of an overall idea of where it's heading. And then this is an older playtest, comparison playtest. Probably didn't save it or update it. That's a thing I need to do better, is keep these up to date. That way I know where I'm at, especially after taking a few day hiatus. I kind of like this design doc. This one just seems more thematic, like the concept, the pillars, what's decided. I think this is better than the manifesto one. I'm kind of tempted to just go through and delete all these docs, but documentation is always terrible. Always terrible. So let's just start with what do we got in the background now? We have GPT-5 in the background. Let's fire up GPT-5 and see what we're looking like. Fire this up. Do I have a test doc here? Comparison playtest was made on the 17th, so 4 days ago. It's probably pretty close to accurate. Let's check out that comparison playtest. Yeah, this probably hasn't had too much change. That's fine. That means it's actually this information. So I could probably derive it by looking at it, but you know, it's also good to show off on the stream where we're at for everybody. Alrighty. And then what do we have? This needs to be reset. Gemini, what was Gemini up to? Actually, fuck Gemini. Let me just see where I'm at on the GPT. Which GPT I want to be running. That's just in the repo host. What's happening here? Yes, the split was into 3 layers. What did I ask this one? When I said the MVC with the server. Oh, okay, this was about checking. This chat was checking these other repos I found. Did you update the agents in all 3? All right, this is the one that was building out that grouped experience. Right. This is the repo dedicated. Yeah. I'll give what the project claimed. Yep. So that's this one. What's this one? Is this one the one that was checking all the read these things? Goal. Oh no, that's the one where we're developing. All right. So I'm going to close, and this is the one that we're going to keep working from for GPT. And what was it doing? Committed and pushed my recommendation to a short manual test before I start the next section. Specifically, verify walking into another room. Tile updates the provision here. Providence here. Local room action fails. All right. Yep. Cool. Sounds good. So here's GPT-5's game. Check it out. It's pretty sweet. So we're just on the 1. Let me go ahead and fire up the 2 side by side. Net mode, make sure that's on. Yep, it is. Put it here. I think I might want to set that on both to be play and editor. All right, so on GPT-5, get this warning out of here. Does it show our current location? Up in the top right, it kind of says there's no leads here. I think it was saying that it's supposed to automatically register where we're at just by walking around. So current location, caretaker shed. Nice. Learn the case briefing, trace the old estate's private records. Oh, okay, so we have a bit of a starter story now. That's new. Nice. Okay. Oh, and it's got the text for the rooms off to the right. All right, good improvements. So I went to the nursery, and there's nothing here. I have a travel instance down here in the bottom right. It doesn't register that I'm in the nursery in the travel section. But clicking it does say that you're already there. So that's good. This should get moved out into a map at some point. So there's nothing here. From here, let's just go up to the shed. Actually, what happens if I run out and around? Can I run around the shed? We're trying to investigate the old estate's private records. That means I want to go to the library. Oh, we can kind of see why the two go to libraries. Wow, now there's a bunch of other shit here. But moving to the library worked, and we have the passive research case records. Okay, so this is new functionality. I mentioned to one of them, apparently it was GPT, that I wanted there to be like a library or something where you can always go there and take an action, like read a book, if you have something to look up. And we do have something to look up. We have the old estate's private records to look up. All right, the other player, let's see. Oh, it doesn't track up here on the clock day, like how far ahead we are. But I think moving here should have taken some time. I'm going to do a library use. Let's see what that does. I have to confirm it because it's a long use case. That's fine. So let's hit confirm. And we got success on it. Nice. And so that guy learned that the water stain journal may be hidden at the parlor. All right. The guy in the caretaker shed doesn't have shit to do. And then notice the guy on the left says occupied. Like he's blocked. He's 90 minutes ahead of the other player. So that says it might be at the parlor. If we come here to the parlor on this guy, updated that it went to the parlor. It didn't travel the time forwards. As you can see, going to different locations used to take time. I don't know how I feel about it not taking time. I don't think it should take an hour necessarily, but assuming that these are like different buildings, right, in a town, library, parlor, whatever, like going from one spot to another should probably take some time. You're already at the parlor. It doesn't do anything. Okay, so let's have this guy go down into the parlor. When he went into the parlor, the search parlor option appeared. Because this guy knows there's something here. If I click the share button on his screen, I think it's going to tell this other guy about it. This guy has the option to search parlor. He can see it now, which is interesting. But he can't actually, it's not in his options. What happens if I click it on this guy? You have not noticed that opportunity yet. Okay, so good system check on the backside. Notes. All right, so I'm doing a playtest. GPT. When one player knows of an action, the other player can see the action on the screen, like and on the map, in the 3D world. You can see the other action in the 3D space. But clicking it does properly state you have not noticed that opportunity yet. Perfect. When the other player shares that info, they are then able to take that action. So notice, like, now because they're in the same location, we could share. So that's pretty cool. And now let's try to search. We did the search. We found the water stain journal. We picked it up. And when we do the read here, both players should automatically get it, and they did because they're in the same location. So if you're in the same location, then it shares the info. The information is correctly sharing between players at the same location if or when the information is discovered/learned. Discovered and learned. Nice. That's working pretty good. And then I think that's pretty much as far as we've got. I don't know why they're showing two go-to libraries on this one. For some reason, there are two library locations showing. Oh, beyond the 30-minute grace window. So let's come up here. Oh, gotta confirm it. Confirmed. Nothing found. Confirmed. Nothing found. Oh, we're rolling bad. We're rolling bad. I don't even know if this is gonna do anything on this one. I should definitely set up a thing that makes it such that I can just force a roll to be a success. All right, that one passed with an extreme success. We learned that there's bundles of letters at the nursery. All right, so that one room we went into before that we couldn't do anything in, we now learned that there's this thing there. And so when we went there, it popped up. Excellent. When we found a bundle of letters, we can pick it up. We cannot pick it up because we're too far ahead in time. Learned trace fresh puncture marks hidden behind Clara Sloan's archivist collar. Oh! A spot hidden when we went past one of the other people, and we learned that they have bite marks on their neck. This one is working pretty well. This version of the game. All right. So that means we're probably up against a vampire, right? Do we have that information known specifically that it's a vampire? We have found the Waterstain Journal. We learned that it's weak to lamplight. All hell, lamp! Fresh puncture marks behind. Bundle of letters may be hidden. Found the bundle of letters. Acquired the bundle of letters. And then there was nothing I could do with the bundle of letters. Oh, wait. No, I can read them. They're right here. My bad. I just can't see on my screen. It's in the inventory. Makes sense. So we learned when it peaks. So the end of the game is day 2 at 1908. When did we run past that person? I didn't see a person pop up anywhere. Did you see a person pop up? I'm not seeing a person anywhere. Maybe that's just a hypothetical. Context code is GPT-5 continuum. Oh, it put that. It thought that when I gave the GPT that status line update, it put it into the game. It didn't put it into the. I wanted it to be put into the chat. Yo, what's up, Toaster Face? Thanks for the raid, man. How's it going? What are you guys up to? How have you been? What's happening? Rip Fable? I know, dude. I know. I've been trying to work around it. Hey, Next 4K, what's up? What's happening? So I think that this one accidentally removed all NPCs. Where did it pop up that I ran past Clara? Or whoever the hell it was. Lead bundle. Well, what have you guys been doing? We're trying to make a game. Fable one-shot some core code for my game, and now it's gone. Yes. Fable one-shot some core logic for mine as well. And now I'm trying to just like continue it on with the plan that Fable had already created. But I'm trying it with GPT-5, Gemini 3.5, and obviously Claude Code 4.8. Right now we're looking at GPT 5.5's results whenever I was adding onto it. And it's doing pretty good. I think at some point, I'm trying to make like a Call of Cthulhu tabletop game right here, if you're familiar. If you don't know Call of Cthulhu, just think of it as Dungeons & Dragons, except you're a regular human in the Dungeons & Dragons world. So good luck fighting an orc as a regular human. You know, it's probably not going to work out, right? There used to be NPCs you could talk to. It's possible this particular seed didn't have any NPCs, but it said that I saw fresh puncture marks hidden behind Clara Sloan's archivist collar. So I saw some marks on somebody at some point, but I just didn't actually see them in the freaking world. So, you're 90 minutes. You've already learned everything. Interesting. Yeah, so it's pretty neat. Fable went ahead. Here, let me pull up the roadmap here. Fable generated from the first setup all the way down to 5.5, I think it was. 5 and a couple steps. So Fable generated the project, the dice rules for the D100 system, how bonus dice are going to work, how they cancel out negative dice, how you can do opposing rolls, how a player can push a roll or use luck. It set up the character sheet. It set up the replication of the dice results over the wire to everybody to keep the world in sync. It set up the world state and facts about what's going on in the world and how to use all of that to generate procedural like stories and how to generate like activities for the players to accomplish. It freaking implemented a system to double check that it's always guaranteed to be solvable, that nothing is like locked behind a locked door that the players can't get into. It double checked that all that's good. It built a unit test for all of that. And then it set up, I don't think it set up game modes. This might have been injected in. Yeah, because 4.5, I think the work somebody else injected this in. Oh no, it did. It did this because it stopped right here and asked me to like play test it, and I was like, dude, I have to play test it through console commands. I can't do that because I'm stupid. And so it updated. I mean, I understand console commands. The problem was their console commands that it gave to me were all index based, and I couldn't see the index, and it changed on every run because it's a procedurally generated game. So I would have to say go to 0 or go to 1, and it's like I don't know what room or anything these things are, so I can't do it. And so Fable was like, oh, sorry, I'll make buttons on the screen for you stupid humans. And then the playtest worked great. And so I asked it to do the doom clock, like to put like pressure. You gotta accomplish the mission in a certain amount of time. And to be fair, it did this, okay? My only prompt to Fable was, hey, do you know what the screenshot is? And I don't think I have the screenshot readily available to show you. But it was like, it's like a tree of verbs and like grammar. It's like and like preconditions and postconditions. And Fable's like, yeah, I know what that is. That's a screenshot from a 2011 research paper on procedural generation. Why do you ask? And I was like, oh, well, I was thinking about trying to build that system in code, but then adopt it to be a bit more interesting and fun by adding in like the storytelling from South Park where they use therefore and buts, which is the same storytelling that Witcher 3 adopted. And it goes, yeah, I can do that. By the way, there's a 2016 paper that changed the system a little bit from the verbs. So I will use your familiar verb system, but program it in the newer setup and then incorporate the therefore and but storytelling. What project do you have in mind? And then I was like, well, if you can use Unreal Engine, I like Unreal Engine because it looks pretty. And then we could try to recreate Call of Cthulhu in like a Baldur's Gate 3 style. And he goes, yeah, I can work with Unreal Engine. Let me build that out for you. And it just all the rest of it. It did everything else. I didn't tell it about the D100. I didn't tell it the rules. I didn't give it a PDF of the rules. I didn't do anything else, and it just went ahead and ran from there. So Fable is freaking insane, and it started to do the time clock. So it was like, here's a good time to pause, and let's do a play test. And then I was like, I can't play test it. And so they was like, hey, I built a UI so you could play test it. And so I did it. I said, it's good. Continue on, continue working. Do whatever you want next. And it's like, all right, I'm going to build out the time clock. So there's like a lose condition and a win condition, and the players have like a sense of urgency. And while it was doing that, it stopped and was like, hey, I got a question for you to answer. And I was like, okay, I answered the question. Also, I noticed you're about to run out of context. Please make a continuation document so that whenever we break for 5 hours and I return, we can pick up right where we left off and you know your plan. He goes, sure, I'll make that continuation document. And it built this roadmap. And then Claude got shut off permanently because I did this on Friday last week or 2 weeks ago now. And so now I'm just trying, like all the rest of it, everything from 5.5 down, because it only did the first 2 dots on 5, has been accomplished through the other AIs, or at least them attempting to. And honestly, a lot of it has been way slow going compared to Fable. Yeah. So Toaster Face, I do prompts pretty differently. I don't do spec. I don't do BMAD. I do conversational style with it. This is how I do it at work as well. I've been for the last like year and a half. I haven't coded. I've just done I've just used AI to accomplish all of my tasks, and I do mean all of them. I have not coded in that long. It terrifies me if I ever have to do another coding interview. And what I have found to work best is conversation with the models. I never tell it what to do. I only say why I want a thing, and that thing is like at a higher level. So it's and then I just like talk with it. So like in the example I gave you, like I didn't say like I want you to build this thing from that research paper. I was just like, hey, I know about this. I think it's interesting. I want to make quests that are procedural. At some point in the prompting, I did say like one of the major downsides of playing Call of Cthulhu is it's an investigation style game, and after you run a scenario, you can't really play it again. Like if I've played a scenario and I want to show a new friend this game and I play the scenario with them, it's kind of difficult because I already know who the bad guy is. I already know where it's located. I already know everything. And so it's in order to like, I want to fix that problem. That's the problem I want to fix. And I ask it like, what do you think? How can we do it? And it's like, oh yeah, you're on the right track with the procedural generation stuff. And we can also use that to make a new environment. We can like yada, yada. And it just goes through with it. The game is a bit niche and complicated, so AI has been very helpful. Nice. Yeah, I think this is going to be a super niche game because it's. I'm like struggling to identify where the fun is because when you play this tabletop, the fun is picking up physical dice, the tactile, shaking them in your hands and throwing them out there, and like being an idiot with all of your friends, and it's like a group storytelling where you all die, and not normally. Normally die. Not always, but a lot of times. And bringing that in to this, like into a video game, like sometimes you'll spend like a whole 4-hour session doing nothing but going to like the library and reading books or going to the police station and interrogating people. Like that's a weird, I don't know where the fun comes from. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy the tabletop experience, but I think it's from all the other factors, the friends and the environment and stuff, right? And so putting that into a game, I don't know where the fun's going to be at for the player, but right now I'm working on the mechanics. I think it's going to have to come from the atmosphere and the fact that a game makes it faster. Like it's not going to take 4 fucking hours to do all the research in a video game because the dice rolls are instant. You don't got to wait on the DM to look up a rule. You don't got to like. So I'm hoping that drops that time frame down to like 10 minutes. Then that would be proper pacing for a video game with friends and stuff. Yeah, finding the fun is important. Next hour, she's like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? It's fine. I talk fast. What do you do? What do you code as your day job? I work with Cox Automotive. I think I'm allowed to say that. I'm like, wait, what can I disclose? What can I not? And so it's car dealership type things. They do a lot of different car dealership related stuff, and I'm on the advertising and marketing side of things. So that's where I do my stuff. The fun times, good stuff. And right now, we're running through GPT-5's implementation because it's been a few days since I worked on the project, and since I'm building it out with GPT, Claude, and Gemini, it's kind of hard to keep track of who's got what, and I'm trying to consolidate that. That was what I was working on last time, is trying to get like, I let them go in their own directions and see what happened, and now I'm trying to bring them back together with a single vision. But some do particular things better than others. And like some of them actually have a menu, some of them actually have like a test map. This one has, you don't have to click go to, it just identifies where the character's at, so that's really cool. This one was the first one. GPT-5 has actually been, like 5.5 has actually been doing the best out of all of them, which was really surprising to me. I was not expecting that. I was expecting 4.8, like Claude, to be doing the best. But GPT-5 has been the forerunner of ideas and concepts on its own. And I think Claude has done the best implementations of particular aspects, but it doesn't have as many features in the game, I think, if I'm remembering right. And my notes are so bad. I thought the AI would do a good job at like keeping the notes on top of each other, but I didn't realize it was just generating new documents each time. So I'm like, hey, update the thing. And instead of just updating the roadmap, it's like completed features now. Here are the playtest results. Here's like the initial design. Oh, here's like, it called it a manifesto, which is like just a design continued, but here's a continuation. And I'm just like, oh my God. And they all did this to some degree. And so none of them kept the fucking docs clean. See, like they all failed to have clean documentation. I was not paying attention as it was making them. So, whoops, my bad. And I kind of need to fix that because it reads the docs folder every time it launches, and I'm sure the AI is confusing itself because like this thing says we have this thing says we don't have this. This like, I don't know. It's fine. Everything's fine. But this is in a pretty good state. We don't have combat. We don't have the way to end the game yet. I think. Let's see if we have a sanity. We don't. I thought that I could intentionally. Maybe it was, again, it must have just been one of the others. This one says I can start a combat. What if I hit prop facts? What's that do? Just outputs all the facts into the thing. Freshman. Behind Claire, the archivist, the archivist caller. But where the hell are they? That's the note I was taking when you guys raided in. I think that it accidentally deleted the NPCs. I don't see any NPCs on the map or in the here locations here section for me to interact with. This seed just might not have had any NPCs. However, I did pass a spot hidden that revealed bite marks behind. I should have this thing outputting the seed and stuff so I can feed it into the AI. All right, I did pass a spot. I did let's call it have a successful. I did have a successful spot hidden check that revealed bite marks behind an NPC's collar. And I'm not actually prompting it in, or else I'd be showing it on the screen. I'm just have a long-running note doc that I never clean up. So it's the same problem. Like these were all my notes at one point in time, and then I just throw in a bunch of little things, and then I do it again. So, see, I'm making a new section. Very clean, very organized. Much wow. I want to just pass the time to a fail state, I think. So let me just spam rest 8 hours until the end of the scenario and see what happens, if anything happens. And then I do have it set up to where the players have to be somewhat in sync, so you can't like just one guy, you can't just run around and take a bunch of actions and progress the time. You gotta like wait, let everybody do a thing. You can. Each one has their own. Some had only a 30-minute lenience. Some have a 90-minute lenience. I think a lot of them are 60-minute lenience. And let's see here. So yeah, at some point, something walks the halls by daylight. Ooh, spooky. Where we're heading to? I think it was at the 1900 mark. Occupied 3 days ahead, or hours. I'm just spamming this back and forth. It's too late for investigation now. All right, so this one doesn't have a big ending or anything. All right, that's fine. My setup is very similar. Yeah, it's hard. That's the hardest thing, is staying organized, and that's where you can get the most benefits, I think. So, well, now that we finished that, I'm gonna go ahead and give this thing some results back. Specifically, walking into the room action fails when you walk out of the room, and normal go-to still snaps correctly. After that, clear the conversation. The repo docs have continuation context. Before I just did a play test. Before we move on to the next unit of work, I have some feedback. I don't need all that. I don't need all that. All right. Here's some feedback from my last playtest. Let's throw all these in. I'll just copy it in. The rooms don't have any visual indicator for their boundaries. We have the NPC note in there about them vanishing. Everything else seemed to be pretty good. Oh, traveling between zones no longer consumes time like it used to. Let's let that do its thing. So the AI was writing scripts that you imported into Unreal. The AI has been doing everything through C++. What do you mean by scripts? That's kind of a vague term, and I just want to make sure that we're thinking in line. You know what I mean? I do have some skills set up. I don't know if they are loaded into anti-gravity here. Or no, is GPT in anti-gravity? I forget which one's which. No, GPT is in Codex. GPT is in Codex. Yeah. So I work in Unity, so it's all scripts, it's C# files. Yeah, and I don't know shit about C++. I mean, I've taken some C++ classes, and I can kind of fumble my way around. I at least get the pointers and things right, but I like C#. That's where my my bread and butter is. It's so much. It's my home. C#'s my home, and yet I've never done Unity dev. I should probably just do Unity because it's advanced so much now. I've had a bad habit of like once every like 6 to 12 months doing game dev stuff, which is just enough time to like forget everything. And I always chose Unreal in the past because it looks so much better than Unity. Unity just looked like trash, but Unity doesn't look like trash anymore. So I should probably go back to it. Or go back is the wrong phrase. I should probably try it since it doesn't look bad anymore. All right, so while that's running, let's see what Gemini has for us. Gemini. So what I've got here is I've got one repo on GitHub, but I have it cloned down into 3 different branches, and I'm not changing the branches. So like this one is always going to be pushing to this branch. I should have probably just forked the project. Oh well, it is what it is. Gemini, what did you do last time? Oh, I was talking to Gemini about how I kind of want to start looking at assets and visuals and making it actually look nice, since the core functionality is pretty much there. I've refactored the permadeath system to implement. Oh, so this is the all right. So Gemini has started doing some UI stuff, and it's not good, but it's there. Okay, that's all I care about. Yeah, the grass is always greener. True. You just gotta do it. You just gotta pick and do something. Because starting the project is the hardest damn part. And if you over research on just the engine you're gonna use, like fuck it, just get in there and play with stuff. You can always change it. So why is it talking about a blueprint workflow? We haven't used blueprints at all through any of this. So this one is the only one. Gemini is the only one that has the character generation and menus and things. So this one I'm pretty excited about. Let me show you what we got here. I have to go to the main menu. Whenever I hit play, it's not pretty, but it's a menu. But what's cool is I can come to like create investigator, type in a name, Twitch chat. Sure. We hit roll characteristics, and hey, look, we have a character sheet. And a small little thing. Oh, is it always the same thing? A disgraced university professor seeking lost lore to restore their academic tenure. Is that what it always is? It is what it always is. All right, so we only have one shitty backstory, but we're making a character. And while I don't know what the code is behind the scenes on this, these are reasonable values for this game. I've seen a lot of character sheets for this game, and this is what they all look like, roughly. So it's pretty good. Shane, are you going to make a 3D game, or are you just testing the flame? I will try to make a 3D game. We'll see. Your Claude resets in 2 minutes. Nice. I should have started with Claude, because I haven't done a Claude prompt at all, so I'm still on 0. But it's going to, like, it maxes out almost right away, since I should start using the clear command or upgrade. But yeah, so look, I have a character, ta-da, and now we can go to select investigator. We can see the characters. I can click on the Twitch chat one, and it's like, hey, here's your character. I can delete it, apparently. I've never tried, so I can activate it. So this is my character that I've selected, and now I can hit start game. This one is the like test screen. I don't know why Gemini decided to hard code us going into the test map, but I like that this one has a test map. And I did ask all 3 of them to do this, and I think Gemini is the only one that listened to me. So this just has a setup to demonstrate all the actions that you can do in the game, which is awesome. So there's some beeswax on the floor, and like I can just go pick it up. All right, I got some beeswax. Nice. And I believe if I click on this, it'll just run me up there. Oh, no, it didn't. Damn. It used to do that. All right, so I can run up to the solvability wing. I'm here now. We got a little hint that says procedural testing museum wings. We got a character. Oh, this used to have more information to say, like, this is how you interact with NPCs and do fast talks and interrogations and things like that. So clicking on him. The party walks to the solvability wing, interact with Father Ambos. So I clicked on him, and because there's multiple things I can do here, I can't just click on him to do it. Like I could click on the thing to pick it up, because the only thing I can do is pick it up. So I can, it's saying I can charm him. It's regular difficulty, it takes 90 minutes. These times need to be all tweaked. They're just randomly made. I mean, they're always the same, just the AI randomly picked values for testing purposes. But yeah, let's do an intimidate. Rawr! He didn't like that. He glared at us. This used to show... Oh, it's showing it up here now. They changed where it's showing it. So we can see the thing. And it's saying... it's not saying it. It used to say that this would have locked him out from talking to you, but because you're on a lower difficulty, we're going to let you keep doing it. Yay, we got a success. So whenever we got that success, it says back here, and it's really difficult to read. He gave us a clue hint that the tarnished key is in the vault. He gave us... There's a heavy iron chest, the tarnished key for the vault is in the museum lobby. We just came from the museum lobby, and we didn't see that. So now we can go back to the museum lobby, and now we have the ability to do a spot hidden. That ability wasn't there before, because we didn't know there was something here. So we can do a spot hidden, we can spam this, and hey, look, there's a key, and now we can pick up the key. That could use a little bit of finesse. This one doesn't have like the volumes of like how the GPT said if you walked towards the room, you just entered the room. This one doesn't have that, so that's fine. We can run up here into the lockpicking vault. This has been having some bugs before, so we got a spot hidden for the chest since we know about it, since the guy told us about it. And now here's a chest because we have the key. We can just open the key, and it had a journal in it, so we can take the journal. And now that we've taken the journal, we can read the journal. And now that we read the journal, we learned that the deadline for this mission is day 2 at midnight. Day 2:00. I don't know if that's the end of day 1. I think that's the end of day 1. So we now know when the mission ends. We've got that hint. We figured it out. So let's go into the Madness Gallery. Here, the shadows stretch unnaturally long. But here we ran into a thing that should have caused us some sanity damage. Yeah, so we're at 70 out of 99 sanity. Let's search around for the Necronomicon that the other NPC told us about. Spam a bunch. We finally found it. We can click on it, and now we can read the Necronomicon. Right? Maybe? Question mark? Yes? No? We picked it up. We can pick it up, but we can't read it? Okay. Well, that's fine. I've picked up the Necronomicon, and this log is getting unruly and difficult to read. But if I click on this, it just deals sanity damage to me. No, it does not. Okay, I thought that was there so we could test the sanity. But this one does have the ability for me to just take sanity damage, and this is a neat thing. Because if I set it to like 20, well, this is set. There is a command that deals damage. sanity damage. It's not set. I remember doing this. Prob damage sanity. All right, let's do that one because I don't know if the set sanity will do it. So I'm gonna just deal. We're at 70 sanity. I'm gonna deal 50 sanity damage to me. So my guy's gonna go fucking insane. And now look, there's cultists around me. I'm hallucinating that there's people here. And bout of madness. The horror fractured your mind. You suffer a bout of nyctophobia, fear of the dark. And now there's a ghost that just spawns around me because I went absolutely insane. It was worse than a bout of madness. Like, I just absolutely went insane. And now I'm hallucinating that there's a ghost following me around. And this would be like client only, so the other people can't see it. And this thing would actually like deal damage to me or whatever. Like, I would have to deal with my hallucination. It is real. And maybe this is like projected onto an NPC. And so I'm like attacking an actual NPC and the other players are having to deal with it. Like, that is the sanity system that I want set up. That's how this should work in the end. So Gemini has done pretty damn good at implementing a little bit of every feature. Yeah. So, sorry, I ignored you for a long time while I was monologuing. I apologize. You listen to Dungeons and Daddies podcast, similar concept, regular dads get stuck in a D&D world. No, I've not heard of that. The only Dungeons and Dragons podcast I'm aware of is like celebrities doing it, I think. And it's supposed to be like a pretty funny thing, but I haven't actually messed with it or like watched it. This is supposed to be a little combat situation in the test map, but combat's not set up, so I can't actually use the combat section of here. It was a good monologue. Why, thank you. Happy Father's Day. Thanks, stop out. The father to 2 fur babies. Silly little doggies. All right, so if I switch this over to a different map, I think I just have to go to a new map, like just a random ass place. And then I launch it from here. It should use the regular seeding process instead of the setting museum, as I mistyped. So this is how the world really looks. So we got what? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 rooms that we can interact with. And it spawned the attic pillar in my fucking face, so I'm stuck here. Okay, that's nice. That's nice, dear. That's a problem. I know how to fix that. I stop it, and then I just grab the player spawn. Spacebar? Is it not spacebar to change the tool? Not the perspective. I want to change the tool. I could have swore it was spacebar. Is it Alt? Control? Shift? What the hell? I know it's spacebar. There. See, now it's spacebar working. I just had the select object only. Okay. So you have to hit W first. All right. Cool. Been a minute. There. Let me just move the player spawn off to the side, and I'll do it. Haha! I'm not stuck in the thing. So now we got a new world, and this world is 9. It's a 3x3 grid. Cool. We don't have any mission like how the other one has. Like, oh, your job here is to investigate the old grounds, old burial grounds. Yeah, sure. Can I interact with the strongbox? I don't think I know about the strongbox. You examine the strongbox. A note hints that its key is in cellar. Ooh. A note hints that it has another key in the old mill. Choose an approach from the leads panel. Nice. All right. Cool. Are we actually considered as in this zone? I don't think we're considered as in any zone. We had to have been considered as in that other zone, right? The party walks to the cellar. All right. So we know... Only because we know that there's a key here, we have a spot hidden. I'm going to run around to some other things. So like if I run into the records office, there's nothing for us to do here. Because we don't have any leads. We don't have anything. So that's perfect. Run over to the old mill. We can search. Did this thing tell us that there was? Yeah, it did tell us that there was a thing. All right, sure. Let's search the old mill. Hey, we found it on the first time. Take the key. All right, let's go back. If I click on... where's the strongbox? It's in the tavern. So if I click on the travel to the tavern, I think it runs me over there. It does not. Damn it. I swear one of them did that. Maybe it stopped doing that. All right, now I can click on the box. Click on the box. Interact with the box. Box. Unlock it. Just do it. You don't have the prerequisites. I have the key! Oh, it's showing up as 2 different items. Okay, that's kind of annoying. Because I can unlock it with the key from E7, which I assume is the cellar, or I can unlock it with the key from the old mill. All right, let's unlock it with the key from the old mill. Hey, look, now a bundle of letters appeared over here. Hey, look, I have a bundle of letters. Let's read them. Hey, it's weak to cold iron. Manor Lord's got a nice update. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm familiar with that one. Oh, what breed on the dogs? We have one purebred Keyshawn that's about a year old. And we have another dog that is a mutt. Her name is Savvy, short for Savage. She's primarily black lab with some border collar coloring. So she's got like a white nose, a white chest, and white tips on her paws and tail. But then other than that, she's like the size and the look of a black lab. And Lily is, like I said, only about a year old. So she thinks she's made of water and is right now leaned up against the stairs, like just like broken neck, just like, but is comfortably asleep like that.
What I sent.
What?
Look at what
What?
Look at what I sent.
What? What'd you send me? Is it on Discord? You didn't send anything in chat. Or if you did, oh, you did. No, I see it. My chat and the Twitch actions are in two different spots. It's annoying as hell. But celebrating my 18th month mod anniversary. Really? You've been mod for that long? Sus mod. Yeah, for real. Super sus mod. All right, so hold on. The feedback on this one. Notes for this one is Gemini. Play test Gemini. It would be nice to see the boundaries of the rooms. Maybe an indicator on the floor. The rooms don't have to be. The room generation does not have to be square. I think my playtest feedbacks have actually been bad. I'm gonna do it like I've been doing it one last time, but I think the fact that I'm giving it feedback on several different systems is bad, since it's so much different shit for it to handle. I should probably just focus on one thing at a time to like drill it in and get it good. That's fine. It's kind of a part of why I'm doing this and streaming it and stuff, is like learning, right? So we're learning. I like the shroud emoji. I will bring the Lily over to the stream after I finish taking the notes on the playtest so far and going to the restroom and then getting some more water. Yeah. All right. So, and then the key. I noticed that there are 2 keys for a strong box, which is fine, but they are different actions entirely. They should be the same action, since the key would be identical in reality. And all the action is open the box or unlock the box. All right. I think that's all I really have. I mean, I guess I could continue messing around with some things, but I don't think I want to. I think I just want to check out the basics of Claude. I can review my last Gemini playtest to see if there's things I need to test. Gemini is the museum map, the playtest. All right. Cannot pick up the beeswax. Oh, that was fixed. Should be initialized by the player location on load. That's a thing. When clicking on the Father Ambrose, it automatically tries the charm action. They did fix that. Fast talk never locked us out. Oh, I don't know if it did or not. But getting the hints, yada yada. Keeper log shows the camera log. It did stop that. Gave us the hint journal, all that. Correctly, the player can search when using spot hidden. Nice. When multiple items are hidden in the same place, the search could reveal all. Oh yeah, there's some advanced feedback on that. Reading the journal, give the interaction case files, needs to be scrollable. We might need to review how the Bouts of Madness work. The Bouts of Madness now work fantastic. I freaking love it. Players should be able to re-enter locations they have already visited. Cannot interact with the combat exhibition because we don't have combat set up. So I was doing the play test on the map and then interact with the map how you described. Then I just did a normal play. At least I had unlocked the bandage, strongbox. Yeah, so that was the same feedback I'm giving right now with the multiple keys confusing the shit out of me. It's just now I know what it was. In my last playtest, I didn't even know what the hell it was. Later saw the option to take the punish letter. Weakness item was in the game, so that's awesome. Had the lead. Yeah, so again, I just encountered the same problem multiple times, but I didn't know what it was. And I know what it was this time because when I clicked on the box, it told me that there was multiple keys. Yeah, and the ending was kind of just lame. The Claude has the best ending. All right, let me go ahead and stop this. Provide that feedback to it. Yeah, so I was trying to do the stuff. If you know the folder path where you download Fab, yeah. We can just postpone the visuals and using postpone the visuals and roll in independent.
I don't know.
Independent custom inventory system. By the way, I did a quick play test to ground myself. And here is the feedback from that. The evil thoughts. That's what I was told. All right, I'll be right back. Why don't you guys chill with the music and here watch what this thing's doing. I will bring a dog for you to witness. It is the cutest thing you've ever seen. It is colored like a wolf. And it looks like a fox. It's freaking awesome. I mean, I don't know what this project will be like. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you a bit more about it when I get back, Fran. 1 second. The Lily. Come here. Here, Lily. You're a good baby. Oh, look at my little Lily girl. Look at Lily. She's so pretty. She doesn't want to look at the camera because there's a big light above the camera. But she's got a fox-like face. I can kind of hard to see the whisker. Yeah. Are you terrified? Oh, she gave you a hug. Oh. Yo, thanks for the subscriber, Toaster. Oh my God. What's wrong, baby? Are you sleepy? Oh, can you make that cute noise on the microphone? Yeah, is that a microphone? You baby. Oh my god, here. You can go back to napping. You can go back to napping. She's so cute. I love that little rat. I love that little rat. Hi, I'm here learning how Shini makes his gamers. Yo, Fran, what's up? So, this project... Actually, hold on, I'm not ready to go to that. Let me... Brain? Keyshawn. That's what I was trying to do. Look at these little fluffers. The boy dogs and the girl dogs look fairly different, I think. But yeah, see, like, it has the fox, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's got a fox face. It's so cute. This one looks like Lily. You're so fluffy. They're just the fluffiest. And they make the funniest looking faces. And its tongue is always sticking out. Just always like, no. And it's like it doesn't have a brain. It's got like 2 brain cells, I swear to God. And it can't breathe and think at the same time. So it's always like, and then it'll stop. And then it rapidly continues. So she'll be like, every single time. It's so cute. It's adorable. All right. So to try to give you envy me. Yeah, it's a cute little girl. It's a cute little doggy. And then the bigger one's over here whining because she's getting jealous. But I sometimes pick the big one up to show her off, but then she gets mad. So it's like she doesn't like to be picked up, but she wants to be involved. It's funny. Gotta go to sleep. Good luck with the thinking sand. Thanks, man. Hope to see you back around. I do also play a lot of games. I've been doing this lately, but you can catch the recaps on YouTube. And actually, I got a different YouTube channel versus my typical one. Let me see if I can't pull that up correctly. The last time I pulled it up, I don't know why the hell it's not working anymore. By that I mean like why my YouTube channel is not getting any activity. My YouTube streams for programming used to have like oddly like hundreds of active viewers, which is really weird because my program or my like gaming channel doesn't. And now I'm getting none. I wonder if it's because I was inactive for so long, or if it was because now maybe they have like checks in place and they're like, oh, it's using AI generated thumbnail or some shit. I don't know. But here's the programming channel. Took me a second to get it. I didn't know if I had the @ on it, like if my channel had gotten big enough to have one of those. I don't know. It's weird, but it's fun. It's good times. So, Fran, what I'm doing over here, the short version to get you caught up, is with Fable 5. When I had access to that, I only used it for 1 hour. On the Friday, it was shut down. And Fable 5 generated all the rules and capabilities for making procedurally generated stories. And now, since Fable 5 got shut down, I'm trying to continue that project with the 3 major other AIs like GPT, Claude, and Gemini. And so I kind of have them all working at the same time, but they're all in their own dedicated project that everything has been built by them, except for the foundation. The foundation was built by Fable 5. And then each one is building on top of it in their own way. And recently, I'm trying to steer them all to have the same functionality. Previously, I just let them go off and do whatever they wanted. You want to build more functionality on UI? Go for it. Oh, you want to build functionality on whatever? Go for it. And now I'm like, all right, all 3 you need to be building the same fucking thing. That way, it's easier for me when I go to test it. Because now it's like, do I need to test that functionality in this one? Or is that part of the other one? Like, who can do this? Who can not? Sometimes I'll be like, you can't do this. And he goes, I know I can't. I never said I could. And I'm like, oh, my bad. I thought you said you did have that and fixed it. Yeah, so trying to bring them all a little more in line. But that's the idea. That's where we're at. Which reminds me of different videos when someone uses different AIs to make games and see different results and its capabilities. Yeah, kind of. And you said, good catch. You're absolutely right, Claude. You never could do that, you stupid piece of shit. That was Gemini. You're superior. Now, I think Gemini is on a redemption arc. The last one that we just did, the playtest on Gemini, there was actually really good. It's got the best hallucination stuff. It's got everything. Gemini's came back on a redemption arc like no other. It was the absolute worst by a wide margin for fucking ever. And I don't know why or how it's turned things around. I think it was because it wasn't properly set up to run autonomously. Like, it kept asking me, like, it kept stopping, like, can I do this? Do I have permission for this? And I'm like, you're fucking driving me nuts. Just do whatever the fuck you want. Like, I set it up. I removed all the permissions. You should just be able to go. And it just wasn't. But it is now. And I guess also because I then gave it a list. I give them all now a list of what everybody has accomplished. When I first spun this up, I told them they were like being in a gauntlet. They were competing. And now I'm like, all right, here's a list of what everybody has. And I think it's been able to be like, oh, well, let me put that together. It's been able to do that the best. Like, while all the others are still doing their own thing for the most part. So Gemini has had a redemption arc. Let's see here. Multiple keys unlock consolidation will clean up how the alternate locks work and are presented. Sure. Custom authoritative C++ inventory system. We bypass visual dependencies to deliver a fully functional replicated backend inventory. Wait, what? What did you do while I went to the bathroom and got the dog? You built out an inventory system? Let's directly to the character sheet. Okay, so it's just put on the character sheet. So the structure, it's just the structures there. Replication added to replicated inventory. It is populated on the characters, select initialization, and replicates to the client. Loop pickups, intercepting the fact has, and adds item to the player inventory, state inventory, supporting quantity stacks. Nice. And removes the fact at from the world map. Okay. Console commands and server RPCs added commands at the Providence player controller for players to use during playtesting. I don't want console commands. Outputs your personal inventory. Removes the item from your inventory and adds it back to the current room. Nice. And resets the room's pickup action so it can be looted again. I can transfer items to other players. Nice. What's next? Which task would you like to address in our updated roadmap? Ambient loose loot, cluttered spawning, adaptive quest generator scaling, or storylet parameterization and slot binding. Wow. That just ignored everything I fucking told it, though. At least about, like, the rooms and stuff. Oh, hey. There's a thing up above. Reading is hard. I've successfully completed 2 major improvements, consolidated the unlock mechanics for multiple keys, and implemented custom authoritative inventory. So I did the inventory, right? The project compiles perfectly, and all 25 headless automation test pass. I've updated the design review and log. So, hey, look, that's been updated. That's been updated, and the remaining work has been updated. Okay, that's pretty good. I like that. So this is only in here because I hit the up arrow whenever I was trying to get it to, like, wake up. And it put in the last message. What's this / artifacts? None matching. Oh, artifact. Sorry, not artifacts. Nope, not plural. My bad. I am just going to approve all of these blindly. Trust in the process. Let's go see what Claude's up to. I want to get this one working after. I want to get this one working on something, though. I'm just going to say, begin working on whichever unit of work you believe is the most foundational, and you can work, and you are most capable of working autonomously until the next pi test is required. For the custom inventory, do we have the ability to press I and see the items in a grid? I don't think we do. In fact, I'm pretty confident we don't. And I think by saying this, I'm going to just throw it in a loop, and then it's going to go work on that. Which is what I was saying I believe I need to do. I need to like guide this thing to be more focused on individual functionality. But that is, as you can see, not how I'm interacting with it. So I'm going to delete that out and just send what I thought or what I already wrote out. And I don't understand what the hell it's doing. I just approved it asked if it could write to these things, and I said yes. I approved the change to these artifacts. And now it's like, I will work on the next segment. I will. All right, dude, whatever. Fuck it. He's working. He's doing stuff. Fuck it. Do your thing. Do your thing. Oh, I gotta close this down for it too. Sure, save. Oh no, that's for that map. I don't want to save that. Cancel. Not save. Close. Do not save. Go. Because whenever it goes to run the test, it can't run the test if that's open. The debug suite is built and the build is clean. I'm waiting on the suite to pass. I can't pass right now because it's blocked. Yep. All right, cool. It'll do this thing. I changed chats by accident there. All right, Claude, what do you got? Claude, you need reset. You're way over context. You're at 189 on your context. Claude.ai. My usage right now, I think, is on 0 because I haven't done anything yet today. Yeah, but if I send one message right here, it's going to blow this usage out of the water. So it is suggesting that I do a play test, which is good. I haven't done that on Claude today. I did that on all the others. You asking how many tokens I use? I have absolutely no idea. Yeah. I have the biggest Gemini plan, and that's like the only reason why I'm really using it. I don't know the tracking on GPT at all. And then Claude, I've got the $20 plan, and it forces me to only do so much work within a 5-hour window. But I'm not exceeding any of those plans. I'm not using custom bill as you go tokens. I think she's trying to relay that in Spanish to Dragox. All right, let's see. What does Claude's one look like? This one has the least amount of features, but I think the features it does have might be the best implemented. I think. Oh, I got it set up to fire up 2 of them. So see, like, this is the only one that has a floor. I like having a floor. I don't think this one has auto walk-in working. Oh, it does! That's new. And then that's just like the door. No, it's not. The bundle of letters. Okay. Can I interact with these? I can. It might have. It did tell me. It did tell me. Let me find where. Chat terminal. What's the command? Prov debug perception. It did tell me to turn that on. Prov debug perception 1, so that it would run the spot hidden whenever I enter rooms on the background. Because I was like, I don't know if it's actually doing that. Debug perception 1. So, because when you enter the room, it's supposed to do a spot hidden check, which might be why we can see the bundle of letters. Boarding house rises ahead, quieter than it has any right to be. Half hidden, there was no honest hand would leave it. You find a bundle. Yeah, so I probably passed a spot hidden check to get that. All right, let's try to read it. We read it, and hey, what are you doing? I'm working here. Get out of the way. So we lost some sanity as we read that note. That's perfect. That's how that's supposed to work. That's the only one. I think this is the only one that is actually doing that. And so we got our sanity bar up here. So we're waiting on the party. We're too far ahead. So that's nice. Over here, we got the half mad drunkard. Let's talk to them. No, see, this one is automatically. We got to fix that. That is not acceptable behavior. Playtest. Claude, when interacting with an item, it is automatically choosing the leftmost action, probably index 0. This is good. This is correct behavior when there is only a single action. When there is only a single action. However, when there are multiple, the AI running in the background on the other terminal is trying to test something. It can't test it because I had an instance running and it got pissed off and shut down my instance. Motherfucker. However, when there are multiple options, the player should be presented with their choices and make a selection. All right. Hey. What are you doing over here? What do we got? Gemini's done a lot. Holy shit. What is it doing? All right, Gemini. Damn. Being bossy. What did GPT do on this last run? Good. What changed? Go-to travel time is no longer bypassed by free movement into a room. Free movement updates presence, but the first paid go-to for the room still spends time. No, it's having a hard time understanding. That's fine. Generated location names are now unique across the seed with automation coverage for duplicate place names. Did we ever even have duplicate names? Did it find a bug on its own and fix it? Add a replicated gray box NPC markers and prov here's now list visibly present NPCs even when interview leads are still hidden. Oh, that's why we couldn't see the NPC. They had an interview option, but it was later in the story, so we couldn't see them. That makes sense. Good shit. Good changes. Good job, GPT. Good job. You get a cookie. All right, are you done messing with shit, Gemini? Thank you. You are? Now let me go finish my test with Claude. Shini, I'm going to be drawing, but I'll also be lurking here watching the stream on my second monitor. Thanks, Fran. I appreciate you, man. What you drawing? What you making there? You got a piece of candy? All right, so the thing about the boundaries was a different AI. It was a different version. So let me turn on the prov debug perception 1. Prov debug perception 1. All right. Let's run into the library. Are we already in the library? Something happened here? You stepped into the library. Passive perception trace on. We spawned in the library. Okay. Run up to the records office. So there was a spot hidden and rolled. But we didn't see anything. Wait. Hold on. That fucking failure. But yet we can see the bundle of letters. Why? Okay, so there's an error here. Claude, I was just saying how the few things you've built are the best, and then you have to go and show me that it doesn't work. I don't want to send it a message here because I really need to reset the context window. Session state, clean breakpoint, everything committed, pushed. Arrival satisfies the go-to passive perception. Symptomatic ambient hazards. The per player arrival feedback bug fix. The prov debug perception verify tool. That's good. The cross branch manifesto matrix agents has the features on board. Go ahead and restart for your new skills. Yeah, that's another thing. I downloaded some skills that should make this better. Because so far I've just been doing it, just been raw dogging it. All right, let's exit. Claude dangerously skip. Let's name this 6, 21, 26. It's not the best name, but it's at least a name. Both Claude AI and login managed key set. Auth may not be working as expected. What are you talking about, Willis? In the docs to orient yourself with this project. Then I have some feedback from my last playtest. Feedback. The players can see the hidden items before passing the spot hidden check. However, they cannot interact with them. However, they correctly cannot interact with the items. Remember, I only want the spot hidden to automatically roll when you enter a room or when you do a search action. The search action is only available if the players have had a hint that indicates there is an item in the room that they should be searching for. The automatic spot hidden upon entering a room can find the item without that hint and reveal it. Consider it like you walk in the room, and if you happen to notice a journal on the desk, then you can pick it up and read it. If you walk into the room knowing there is a journal on the desk, but don't see it, then you can start searching for the journal. Knowing that there's a journal in the room without seeing it on the desk. Now I can clear this out. All right, so that's one feedback. Let's continue messing around with this so we get all of our feedback put together. One location. Oh wait, hold on. All right, so now we're able to keep doing the searches, it seems. All right, let's go into the garden. So the spot hidden failed. And then we're able to... There's nothing to pursue here just now. Weird. All right, let's go into here. The tavern. There's a key here. We're not able to pick it up. The changing rooms. Oh, we're failing. Prior miss spot hidden. Yeah, so we're. So this room has like a gas leak in it, and we're getting the spot hidden going off on it. Oh my god, doggy, shush your face hole. Sit with the groundskeeper at the library. Where the is the groundskeeper? Where's the library? No groundskeeper in here. Oh, there is. Fast talk. Fast talk. The groundskeeper already despises you. All right, so since I was like fucking with him, and I failed the task, he didn't like me no more. So we can fail task, and now we can come in here with the other character and we can talk with him. Oh, because this dude didn't leave the room, he now associates us together, and we couldn't do it. Damn. Okay. Should just be that should be changed to where they got to be present at the same time. Okay, that's another feedback. You went outside. Is that why you're crying so much? Let's go outside. Come on, stop crying at me. Go, go, go. My goodness. So demanding. Such a demanding little lady. All right. Okay. I should. Can I copy all this? Paste it here. It kind of works. That's fine. All right. When interacting with an item, it is automatically choosing. Interacting with an item / NPC. It's automatically choosing the leftmost action, probably index 0. That is correct behavior when there's only a single action. However, when there are multiple options, the player should be presented with their choices and make a selection. The mechanic around frustrating an NPC into not cooperating mostly works. When the NPC is frustrated, is annoyed, or turned hostile, it should only work on the players currently present. If the other player enters the room before the first player leaves, then they should still be able to interact with the NPC. Let's see what this does. How it operates. Let's go ahead and close down Unreal Engine while it runs. And let's see what Gemini has done for us. All right, I've compiled all the next steps and verified the code-based functionality. Identified and resolved the ambient loot spawning issue. The test ambient loot and pickup originally failed because spawned ambient items lacked the fact revealed world state fact, which caused the server authoritative pickup validation logic to reject and pick up there. You cannot see this item. Add the fact revealed fact immediately for all procedurally scattered ambient items. Okay. As they represent immediately visible loose loot. Ran automation test. Verify that the 28 headless automation test, including the custom character creator, persistence, and proximity pickup test, passed successfully. Cleaned the debug logs. Removed all the temporary tick debug and pickup debug logs from the prov player controller. Updated the project documentation. Updated the completed features log and included the ambient loot. All right, nice. Wow. So that one made loose loot on its own. Neat. Gemini's doing some things. And I'm not looking forward to trying to consolidate all of this functionality into a single branch, if you will. This is going to be a nightmare to clean up at some point. But that point is future Shini problem, not current Shini problem. And it will be a big Shini problem, not Shini problem, shitty problem. All right, 3 artifacts to review. I don't want to review those artifacts since that last time kicked it off and made it go crazy. I will, however, want to see what the loose loot looks like right now. I'm curious. And then we can also begin checking on trying to get GPT and stuff running. See if we can get them all working on things at the same time. Fire it up. So we got like a rusty lockpick. Ooh, lockpicks. What just happened on my other monitor? Okay, that was weird. I picked up a lockpick. I picked up another lockpick. A spent shell. Neat. Band-Aid. Oh my god, yes. I can go looting. That's all I ever wanted. We have Baldur's Gate 3 in the block stop form. Yeah. Run around, steal all the loot. Yeah. Hey, look. This one has, I like this one. Representation. The NPCs are cone. I like how it has different shapes for different things. Does it not have me registering as entering rooms? It does not. Okay, so I have to click on the thing for it to register as entering the room. Neat. Does this one have Nope. This one needs to have a prov debug like spot hidden thing. Cool. Well, this loot looks good to me. Good job, Gemini. What happened? Oh, hey, you want me to interact with you? All right, my bad. I've already read the relevant files directly. The game mode, player control, the game state, consequence rules, the widget, interaction. So I have the full picture. There are 2 genuine design forks I want to settle before writing this plan. Issue 3 is an unambiguous bug fix with no fork. Okay. It says oriented in the docs, but then it says it only read 2 files. That does not sound like it read enough docs. All right, I have a full picture of all 3 issues. Let me lay out what I found before deciding how to proceed. Issue 3, NPC hostility scope, clear bug, evaluates the co-presence dynamically, refuses anyone whose current room equals where the offense happened. So a teammate who walks in later gets wrongly refused, and the rule keys off live position instead of a snapshot of who was there. Fix. Oh man. If they walk in and then they share or like trade or something or talk with one another, then he should probably refuse to, like, you're his friend, fuck you. But we can work on that later. Issue 2, auto picks approach 0 in 3D. Clear, server interaction, server do action 0. Always need to present a choice when the action has more than one approach. Auto resolves when it has exactly one. Yeah, sounds good. Issue 1, hidden items visible before the roll. The in-world station for a search-gated item is spawned visible in the build gray box manner and realized on every client. The reveal currently lives only in the server state leads case file, never in the 3D world. This is the biggest one. It needs a networked reveal signal, so stations stay hidden until the passive spot hidden or a search finds them. The span replicated UI and rules in a collaborative design project with a couple of genuine forks. Let me get sign off and scope. All right, cool. So for the hidden item visibility fix, once a station is hidden until the auto spot hidden or a search reveals it. The only way to trigger a search becomes walking in and auto rolling. The deliberate search for the journal I was told about action needs a hint clue source that the generator doesn't produce yet. How far should this go now? Hide until noticed only. Also build a hint and search. In addition, add a generated hint fact. You've learned there's a journal in the study that unlocks the deliberate search affordance even without auto-spotting it. Larger, touches the scenario generator, and adds new fact clue typing. Can I not tab? Okay. Do the hide until noticed functionality and also do the minimal hint search functionality. That should be a separate or a distinguished chain or a series that is not associated. Not. How does that work? There should. How do I describe this? I'm trying to tell it how to implement it, which is exactly how I said I don't operate. So, I would like for players to be able to get hints to locations of items that may help them out of band with the main quest chain. However, I would also expect the main quest chain to be capable of having those types of events in it. So that means maybe the main quest requires you to learn about the existence of an item and to go for it. Or there could be a one-off chat with an NPC once we have more options available. Oh, never mind. the NPC that just mentions, oh, the shopkeep has a ledger hidden in the garden where he takes his breaks. Where that ledger is in the main quest chain, and now there is a new way of obtaining that information. The player already could have just noticed it when they walked into the garden, off of a spot hidden. This is giving the world more livelihood and ability and possible solutions to the players. Sure, I think I like that. Approach the UI. For presenting approaches, choices in 3D when an interaction has multiple approaches, i.g. Example, NPC has the charm, fast talk, intimidate, persuade. How should the player pick? Contextual pop-up menu, I think works. Or we could drive the existing leads panel. Let's have it do a contextual pop-up menu. That sounds nice. Yeah, submit those answers. Sounds good. Thanks, Claude. Sounds good to me. Oh, I think I want to save this message off because this is no, from the feedback. That's fine. We'll take it all because this is the testing feedback, and I kind of record the testing feedback in like a long-running journal I have on the side. That way I can kind of see how things are going. If I need to like back up and get a view. Oh shit, is that broken? Stupid tech. Oh, what the hell is what the fuck is this? Gemini? Buddy? What are you doing? Okay, weird. No. What? I just want to see. I've completed all the next step. Wait, do I have? No, I don't. All right. I've completed all the next steps and verified the codebase functionality. Didn't we already do this? Identified and resolve the ambient loot spawning issue. The test originally failed because, wait, didn't we already do this? Didn't I already give you feedback on this? An automation test, cleaned the debug log, updated the projectile documentation. Yeah, I mean, that all, yeah, works good. Mark miscellaneous ambient loot and clutter as completed and the remaining work roadmap. Yep. I tested the loose loot and it seems to be, and it seems to be functioning correctly. You can work on whichever unit of work you believe is the most foundational, and you are the most capable of working autonomously until the next PI test is required from. And user feedback from me is needed. Cool. All right, GPT-5, what you got, buddy? I wrote out that message and didn't send it? Or is that the last message I sent, just chilling back in the terminal again? It looks like I didn't send it, question mark. Wow. Here's the feedback from my last playtest is the last message I sent. All right, yeah, so I didn't send this. When one player knows of an action, the other player can see the action in the 3D space, but clicking on it does not approve. I thought, did I really not send that? Okay, really didn't send it. Implementation is pushed. The go-to time is no longer bypassed by free movement into a room. Free movement updates presence for the first paid go-to for the room still expense. No, it's not the first paid. You have not noticed the opportunity yet. For some reason, there are 2 library locations showing. I don't see any NPCs on the map here. However, I did have a successful spot and check reveal. Yep, behind the collar. It's not that the first go-to travel needs to cost. It's that every go-to travel should cost. If every go-to travel that changes rooms should cost. I don't think moving around in a room should be initiating go-to travel commands. Generate location names are now unique across the seat. I think it. Oh, because there's 2 libraries on that one. Gotcha. Did I might have sent this message if it is giving that output. Did I just not see my message? Because why else would it have been doing that unless it spotted the bug? Maybe it just spotted it on its own. Because yeah, I'm not seeing any message from me until here. Oh, for some reason there's 2 library locations. Am I losing my fucking mind? It looks like I sent the message twice. Or like I sent the 2 library locations on the previous one. Weird. Maybe it didn't actually fix it. Let's do this. I think I saw 2 library locations still. Can you double check that functionality is in place to make only 1? All right. Add replacement gray box NPC markers for profit here now list visibly present NPCs even when the interview leads aren't there. Yeah, I remember all that. Yeah. Okay, cool. I just didn't send it. In the future, think of the go-to actions and the room actions as if the player is interacting with a map and traveling somewhere. So if they go into a mansion, they can freely move. If they go to a mansion from... hold on. So if the player starts in town square and then travels to a building, like a library, mansion, store, etc., then there is a travel time. However, they can then move around inside of that store or that location without, as much as they want, without progressing the clock. All right. Maybe that scenario will help solidify its understanding a bit better. Oh my god, why did you make a plan? You're supposed to just work, you son of a bitch. All right, what's the plan here? Hidden items are visible before the spot hidden roll. No, they should not be. That is the... Claude, you're failing me. Hidden items are visible before the spot hidden roll. The in-world station... 3 issues. Oh, 3 issues. Yes, that is an issue. And now I'm the idiot who can't read. Hidden items are visible in the world. The station for the search gate is spawned. The passive spot hidden reveal lives only in the surface state. In this case, while it never touches the 3D world. So the item is sitting there in the plain sight. You just can't interact with it yet. Per the design, passive perception, M18 should only learn an item by walking in and noticing it, or by deliberately searching once a hint has told you it exists. These are also ones the hint search path build a clue. NPCs are main chain step. Like as an offhand mention, that an item exists somewhere unlocks a deliberate search for it, giving the world more liveliness and alternate solutions, while the same item could still be stumbled on via the passive spot hidden. Yep. 3D interactions, auto pick approach 0, clicking in interactable routes. Yep, correct. When there's only one approach, yep. NPC hostility scope refuses the wrong player. When an NPC turns annoyed hostile with a co-present scope, the should apply only to... It's currently applying to everybody, yep. Intended fix... NPC hostility is a snapshot. Contextual approach, selecting pop-ups Sure. Station hidden until revealed. Yep. Yeah, go ahead and do this. What happening over here? You already finished, Gemini? What do you do? Core data structures and generator signature, declared adaptive configuration structure, added the adaptive config structure. Oh, hey, you were working on that. Nice. I didn't think you would do that. Representing a player count, party skills, and past success rates. Interesting. Wow, you are trying to become really adaptive to how they're playing. I did not expect that. That's pretty cool to try to like give the players the ability to utilize all their skills. Maybe that's pretty cool. I really like that. And I guess that makes sense because as a DM, the DMs tend to try to like, oh, this player likes to do these things. I'll try to make the world in such a way that they're capable of doing those things. Adaptive generation rules and modify the generator layout and planning rules to scale the workload chains, scale the yeah, sure, whatever. Yep. Good. Game mode option parsing and combat integration. Actually, I should probably read this since it's about the adaptive generation rules that it was just outlining up at the top. Okay. So the scale workload chains dynamically scales the number of redundant clue chains from 2 for 1 player up to 3 for 2 players. All right. I don't think it should be so set in stone. The team workload matches the group size. Scales the map size, the filler rooms. Top up the location layout with procedurally appended filler rooms depending on the player count. Expanding target locations from 7 to 9 or 11 plus to increase the search space. Okay. Item duplication. Generate 2 duplicates, 3 total items for 1 player. I don't think that's necessarily how that should work. Larger groups and finding this. To avoid bottlenecking larger groups on finding the same. What do you mean? What do you mean with this item duplication? Deadline tightness adapts the Doom Clock deadline from the default 24:36 window to a tighter 18:28 for veteran players if their success rate is so high, or a more generous. No, we don't want dynamic difficulties yet, I don't think. Oh, it already did it. This is what it's summary of the changes. Okay. Feedback based purely on reading the changelog you gave me. Redundant clue chain scaling is a good idea, but it doesn't have to be so set in stone. And it should, and I think it should only scale the starter hints at the bottom of a chain. However, there still can be multiple ways to finish a scenario. Banish the vampire, lead it away, pacify it, etc. That's why, etc. Whatever makes sense. But that should not be depending on the number of players. Those types of end scenarios or end states should always be available given the scenario that's being played. It would be really neat if the players could ad-lib different solutions, but that type of dynamic system might require dedicated time later. All right. When you say for item duplication, I don't understand entirely. For item duplication, I don't think it is critical to duplicate everything. it does make sense to scale bandages, but not lockpicks based on players. That would scale on difficulty and number of chests in the map. Deadline tightness. You are building into the with deadline tightness. It sounds like you are building dynamic difficulty, which is really impressive, but not necessary. Not required. Skill tailored chains. Bias witness interview chain generation. So if the party has high social skills or document. I really enjoy the concept of increasing how many interactions require skills when you see that the party has a good stat. However, the values you listed might be extremely high given how the game operates. Game mode options, parsing, comment iteration, parse map URL parameters. To parse the key option, number of players, pass success rate, and high skills from the travel URL queries. Applied HP adjustments to the monster's max HP, safely clamped at least one. That's pretty decent. Verification, added automated testing tools, correct the chain allocation, deadline compression, probability bias for witness versus document chain. Test verification compiled successfully with 0 warning errors. Headless test run confirms all 29 tests. Documentation logged the feature in the completed feature log and marked it completed in the remaining work. All right, cool. There's that feedback. I'm gonna let the dogs in because they're barking like crazy and take another bio break because I have the bladder of a toddler. I definitely can't have anything to do with energy drinks. And water. And constantly ingesting both. Come on, doggies. You gotta wipe your paws off. You're covered in mud. Covered in mud. You're covered in mud. Quit fighting me. Let me get your muddy paws. Get those muddy paws. Muddy paws. Quit fighting me. Don't fight me, little girl. I gotta get your muddy paws. Your muddy paws. Here you go. What's that? Got muddy paws. You got the muddy paws. Those muddy paws. So muddy. Get your muddy low, dog. Muddy low. Muddy. Off your toe. Did that feel good? That's not normal for a dog. All the time. Good. Get all that mud. Get all that mud. Big muddy chunk. Big muddy. Big muddy. Big muddy chunk. Alright, upstairs. Let's go, doggies. Go. Oh, the dads be working. All right. Key refinements applied. I refined the implementation to the adaptive quest and dynamic scaling system based on your feedback. Randomized redundant clue chain, not rigidly formulaic.
Show it to them.
What? Yeah. I don't think she likes being held like that. She's just like, nah.
Show it to them.
I already have. Will you set her down, please? Thank you.
Fuck that trash can.
You weren't cuffing her leggies.
She's heavy.
You gotta cuff her boots. All right, modify the number of chain calculation to scale more naturally. A single player is always guaranteed 2 clues. While part of 2 plus has a 40% probability of generating a third. Chain to shift workload dynamically. All right, that's nice. Then using original 1-to-1 formula. All right, reversed weakness item duplication to be a flat 2 duplicates. Oh, it's the weakness item. Oh, okay. Oh. You were talking about the weakness items being dynamically duplicated. I thought that was a system in place for all items, which would be a lot when we have random dynamic loot spawning. Depth of ambient loot scaling, chest difficulty players. Stored the parse number of players as a member in the game mode. Modify the ambient loot spawning logic in the spawn world in game mode to dynamically build the ambient loot pool on map load. Bandages scale past based on the player's count, adding more bandages entries to the selection pool. Lockpicks scaled based on both the game difficulty and the number of chests. The fewer lockpicks on harder difficulty and more lockpicks on easier. Remove dynamic difficulty adjustments, deadline, and the monster HP. Remove that success rate based deadline. Revert to the Doom deadline minutes to standard random window. Remove the monster HP adjustment. Tone down the skill tailoring probability biases. When it's first documented. This setup, sure. Social focused parties increase witness chain probability to 50, up from 40. Investigation focused parties decrease witness chain probability to 30, down from 40. Tone down the probability shift for lock complications. Locksmith specialized parties increase lock complication probability. No. Non-locksmith parties remain at the 50% default. Don't increase the locksmith issues just because the party has a locksmith. That would remove the player from feeling special, I think. I expect that would make it feel like a punishment for having a character like that. Instead of feeling rewarded for the specialization. Sure. Was it Gemini that? Oh, it was Gemini. All right. I'll put it in parentheses. Eventually, I do want completely random loot, like candlesticks and other like items. Think of Baldur's Gate 3 or Neverwinter Nights. Actually, Neverwinter Night and Dwarf Fortress. In Baldur's Gate 3, Neverwinter Nights, or Dwarf Fortress. And Dwarf Fortress. Alright, cool. Listen to that. What do we got over here? Push this. What changed? Remove the first paid go-to tracking. What? Okay, now. Okay, now it changes when you change location. Okay, that's fine. Go to the current location. It says already there. Free movement remains free and does not exceed the go-to. Active travel leads now deduplicate by destination. Active travel leads. Okay, so multiple generated chains should not show multiple library travel entities. Yes. NPC markers refresh immediately after gray box location spawn, not only during lead refresh. Docs updated to match this travel model. Go to library issues. The generated location name unique test is in place in past. If you still see two libraries, it was likely duplicated travel action entries for the same one library location, which this follow-up addressed. Okay, sure. Seems fine to me. What would you like to work on next? Do you need any input from me? What's my Claude looking like? Claude's at 37% usage. All right. What did Claude do? NPC hostility now snapshots who was there. H2 interaction present is much better. All right, so this was fixing those things. Okay. View on debts flagged in the docs. Station reveals global, not per presence. There's one hint source for now. The cross-player sale hint buttons aren't pruned. All logical follow-ups, not blockers. The rules are unit tested. The 3D facing behaviors on a passing roll. Approach pop-up. All right. That's everything uncommitted. Say the word. Oh, when you want me to commit? Oh. Always commit your work in logical groups. If the work is a releasable feature, then it should be committed. A couple of things worth your call when you playtest whether the teller's hint should ever be a different NPC from the one guarding that item's own chain. Right now it's seeded from the interview NPC, so occasionally it may be the same one. And whether a failed deliberate search should keep letting you retry. What? A couple of things worth your call. Whether the teller's hint should ever be a different NPC from the one guarding the item's chain. Right now, it's seeded from any interview NPC. So occasionally, it may be the same one. Why would an NPC ever tell the player, that's hard. I could see that actually. What do you mean by the seeded action? I am thinking that when we have a world of extra NPCs and extra items, that it would be possible the bad guy is man, I can't think. Maybe what I need to do is put in a couple of the actual campaign scenarios that are really good, and have it analyze them for how the game should be played out, and then it would have a better understanding of how I want the mechanics to function and operate. We have a world of extra NPCs and extra items. Here. I am having a hard time understanding your vision for the I'm having a hard time understanding your vision for how the dynamic hints work. So let me try to paint a scenario. I spilled water on my desk. For how the additional dynamic can't work. First, I want to say that we already have a fairly good system in place, and I don't want to corrupt it. Secondly, let's assume a small, simple scenario where a shopkeep is involved in being blackmailed by some cultists. We, the players, are just looking into cultists. We could naturally stumble upon the shopkeep's ledger and see that he is tracking extortion content. Tracking being extorted. We could interact with the shopkeep and gain his trust. And he shares that info with us. We could talk to his employee that says the shopkeep is strangely strict about not letting anyone in his back office, hinting to the players, which would insinuate a hint to the players that something good is in there, like the ledger. So the main quest chain could be something like bad cultist summoning a demon, they need money to accomplish this. They are blackmailing multiple places. So the players could solve it via any of these. Any chain for that. And they are also, and the cultist are also running us, I don't know, getting funds some other way. Funds some other way that could be figured out. I don't know. I'm having a hard time ad-libbing something on the spot here. Maybe the players are just the players starting prompt in this scenario is answering an ad from a concerned son that his father has been acting shady lately. And that investigation leads to him being pressured by local muscle, which are involved in the cult activities. I think this is a pretty good scenario. Why the fuck did I go on this rant anyways? Does it have anything to do? The interaction of present approach choice? Is that all it is? All right, whatever. I'm sitting that. Fuck it. I think that's what I do want to do. I think I want to grab some of the scenarios that I've played in the past and try to break them down and save them as like a North Star, like guiding towards enabling that play pattern. I think that would be a really good exercise and direction for this. I like that a lot. Try to do that maybe later today after stream in preparation for tomorrow's stream. What do we have? Wait, this one's still running. Why is it still running? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This one never got opened up. It's waiting on this mutex. It's waiting on the... Something's hung. It's unable to continue running. I believe. Uh-oh. Is the... does this have a slash, by the way? It does. Is the main agent stuck, or is it making progress? Oh, get back up there. The agent is making steady and successful progress. Disaster verification, feedback integration. I see that the main agent current task is waiting for sub agent. Which is why I was wondering if it is broken or hung. Would you like me to work on next? Do you need input from me? Next, I'd work on owner aware leads plus structured inventory foundation. Reason your playtest keeps exposing that the global lead payload is doing too much. The UI filters most of it correctly, but 3D markers can still leak something exists here before a player personally knows it. Owner-aware leads would make each player action surface come from server-side personal state instead of a broad shared lead. Structured inventory is the natural flow. I don't need input to start that unit. Useful input, but not blocking. Should hidden 3D opportunities be completely invisible to players who have not noticed them, or visible as vague something here markers? For inventory ownership, should found items belong to the investigator who picked them up or be party shared by default? Should players be able to hand drop items in the first pass, or only private ownership plus read use actions? My defaults, if you don't want to decide yet, hidden opportunities are invisible until noticed. Items belong to the picker upper. Swiffer. No transfer drop yet. The structure owned inventory. I agree with most of your defaults. I do think the players should be able to either drop or trade items. However, however, you can defer that functionality if you want. You have the agency to own, the agency and responsibility to own this project's success. All right. I thought that the information was already replicated from server to client and server to client in owner-aware fashion. You have some skills that should help with making the constructing code and practices along the UE5 guidelines. Have we been using them? I know they were not present at the start of this project. All right, Claude, what do you got for me? Is this thing still frozen? No, it's not broken or hung. Dude, it's definitely broken or hung. The system uses an event-driven React model to execute operations with a background task. It's absolutely fucking hung. It's been stuck here forever, dude. Gemini, you're fucking stupid. If the build or editor command is completely hung and unresponsive, it is likely due to an orphan background process locking the project. Here's what you should do. Force kill all Unreal Engine projects. Alternatively, open task, locate Unreal. Why isn't there just like a way for me to... Truncated, tab to expand. All right. Man, come on, dude. What do I just send? Are you stuck right now? Press up to edit the queued message. It's a queued message. All right. You were stuck. Please try again. All right. There we go. Maybe two different systems were trying to run automated tests at once. If the test run's complete earlier, the system will notify me. Wait, canceled. Agent received a message. Nice. Much better. Much better. Much better. I'm using UEC++, the network guidance for the answer, since the distinction here is specifically on real replication scope versus gameplay visibility. Yes, we have owner-aware replication for private knowledge, but not yet for the whole action presentation layer. Okay, so the owner-aware leads means, okay. On skill, yes, I've been using them. Yep, for next unit, I agree drop trade matters. I'd probably model ownership now as a transfer drop is possible, but only exposes the minimum pickup. Read use first, unless the implementation stays tight. For next, I do the owner private lead pay load. Public markers only for public things, destination, room, location, labels. Private known actions markers only for owning player. Structured item owner is the next thing. Let's go ahead and build out that system. Keep in mind that there is the ability to share leads among players when they are in the same location. If they do so, it should also send the corresponding visual information. Make sure the code implementation makes this an easy and natural process that inherent to the system. All right, Claude, what do you got? Committed and grounded. Now let me lay out the hints, vision, and importantly where it does and doesn't match what I built. First, the good news. The mechanism I built already matches your scenario. Your ledger has 3 ways to reach it, and all 3 already map onto existing machinery. So the shape you described, one hidden thing, several redundant ways in, one of them being a tip that lets you search deliberately, is exactly the model. That part isn't corrupting anything. It sits alongside the chain like the Doom beats do. Doom beats? Where my V1 is crude and the part you're rightly squinting at. The gap is how the hints are created. Right now, I plant it with a bolt-on overlay at startup. It grabs a random interview NPC and a random hidden item, and the NPC literally says, "Psst, here's a ledger in the garden." It's mechanically real, but fictionally dumb. The teller has no logical reason to know, and it isn't part of the actual case. It's just, is this going to corrupt my good system smell? And you're right to catch it. I did it that way on purpose as a safe scaffold. It leaves the generator, your highest risk system, 1,000 seed solvable, determinism, and completely untouched, same as the Doom beats and the gas leak. The organic version, and it's already half built into your generator. Your generator already has the exact primitives for this. Travel works like you can't go to a location until you have a location known. You have to learn a place exists before you can go there. The clue chain produces that knowing as a normal fact edge. The organic hint is the same idea, pointing at a hidden item instead of a room. The ledger's deliberately search gets a precondition, a location known you in ledger. You can only search on purpose for something that you've been told is there. Passive spot hidden bypasses that precondition. You can always physically notice something on the desk. A location known, you in the ledger, is produced by an upstream approach. The backwards chainer already understands. Interviewing the employee, reading a note, overhearing the employee, he's strict about the back office, is a clue that grants the location known ledger. In other words, A hint stops being an overlay and becomes just another redundant approach in the chain you already generate. Multiple chains to a knowledge goal. You're blackmailing multiple places, multiple approaches per step, and now hints as edges, all the same model. This is also where the wider scenario lives. The cult among the several blackmail chains, the second funding line, intro framing, concern, sun, muscle, occult. That's the generator producing richer branching redundancy, which is already in the miniature, already does in miniature. The honest trade-off and my recommendation, the organic version means touching the backwards chainer, the one system the whole project is built to protect. That's why I scaffolded it with the overlay first. So I treat the generate native hints as its own focused milestone, done with the careful way your deadline as a clue works was done. Build on the existing facts approaching machinery, keep every generator's sweet green, never weaken the solvability guarantee. My recommendation, keep the committed V1 overlay as a temporary stand-in so the search UI and the deliberate search mechanisms are exercisable in the pie now. Play a hints as clues chain edges milestone next. Hidden items grant location known. Hint grants approach woven in generation. Passive perception is the bypass. Then retire the overlay. We made to write up the milestone as a proper plan, the way we did this one, so you can see the generator changes before I touch anything. And one thing I'd want your call on for it, should a hint reveal the item's location be always an alternative path to the generated guarantee exist? So every hidden clue is reachable by talk or search or stumble, or only sometimes is needed, so some hidden things really are find them yourselves. Thanks for the information. Actually, good question. Great understanding of current position and intended goal. We can do it the safe way, like we did the other. We do it the way you suggest. The safe way you suggest. I think that we should make it so that. I think if we are going to go that approach, we need to fully generate out the world first for the secondary hints and clues. It makes sense that the initial generation is done from a required perspective first. But now I think we should have all NPCs around so we can map out their relationships and what knowledge they have. I could be wrong. You absolutely know more about procedural generation and best practices on the topic compared to me. One observation that might be a hiccup. If we, if the player overhears that the shopkeep is strict about the room, they don't actually know what is in there. Just that something is. Yo, what's up? Doing it blind? I'm doing it blind too. How you doing? I think that is only a semantic thing we can observe as outsiders of the scenario, seeing it being generated. And it has no actual impact. I just wanted to call it out to be considered. You really blind? I mean, I can't read very well. I'm pretty damn blind, so I got these spectacles. Well, what are you up to? I'm actually visually impaired, so yeah, not just a name. Oh, I mean, how visually impaired is visually impaired? Are you like legally blind, but you can still see? Or are you just like memeing on it? Oh, yep. Oh, damn. Well, let me continue to poke at your disability by accident and put my foot in my mouth. I'm pretty damn blind though. Without my glasses, like I used to always be like, well, without my glasses, I can see to the end of my hand when I have my arm extended. And then I was like, oh, well, without my glasses, if I hold my phone at about where my elbow is, I can see it. And now it's like, without my glasses, I'm fucked. It just keeps getting worse and worse. Yeah, I did. But yeah, I don't know. That sucks. Being I hate being codependent on my glasses because for some reason I'm like, what if society collapses and I never get a new pair of glasses again? Absolute ridiculous, silly things like that come across my mind. What the hell is Gemini doing? All right, we'll just ignore Gemini. So, doing it blind. Have you been playing with AI? And what do? Welcome in. Now I'm going to interrogate you. You signed up for this by saying hi to a random person on the internet. You didn't intend to sign up for it, but now I got the grill out. It's speaking Russian. What's up, Redimax? If you don't post in English, then I'm going to have to cry in a corner because I technically have to be able to moderate my chat, and I can't moderate other languages. I can kind of moderate Spanish, as in I can't moderate it at all. I kind of understand some Spanish. It's true. That's how consent works. What are you doing? Hey, that works. I'm playing around with 3 different agents, Claude, Gemini, and GPT. What happened was I built out a starting project. Whoa, what the hell is that doing? I built out a game with Fable 5 in 1 hour. Like a good core fundamental rules of a game in 1 hour with Fable 5. And then Fable 5 access got revoked. And I'm trying to continue that process by using the other 3 models. So I have like the foundation pulled into 3 different branches, and each model has its own dedicated branch that it's building off of. And the project is effectively like making. I think I'm just gonna start saying that I'm cloning Baldur's Gate 3 as like a quick way to describe to chat what I'm doing. It's not that, but it's close enough to that. So yeah, I'm trying to make Baldur's Gate 3. That's what I'm gonna start saying from now on. You get a surgery to get the lens inside your eye corrected, dude. I am terrified of doing that. Because like there are like some consequences. Like sometimes they succeed and then like your eye just permanently burns, or like it's just always itchy, or it's dry. You need eye drops constantly for the rest of your life, and I'm terrible with eye drops. And then there's like the super rare risk where it just completely fucks your eye up. Like they I don't know. I'm not eager to try that. You had cataracts and they've replaced your lens, and now for closed vision, you don't need glasses. Why? That's an improvement. Oh, what the fuck is this thing doing, dude? Gemini, you've gone off the rails, my guy. You were stuck. Please try again. All right, I'll pause now and let the test run. We're going to analyze the script again to verify the test results. And then it's just like blah, 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 blah. I'll check the status. I'll run a diff. Oh, man. All right, well, that one seems to be broken. All right, so I think... Hold on, let's see here. That's a right architectural instinct, and it's worth being precise about why. Because the sequencing you're describing exactly how you keep procedural generation from eating itself. Why population of the world first is correct, with one critical ordering caveat. The thing we must never lose is the solvable spine, the backwards chain graph that guarantees the case is winnable at hour 0. That comes first, always, and it produces only the minimum entities the solution requires. World population is a second, purely additive pass, layered over the already solvable spine. The rule that keeps it safe is population only ever adds NPCs, adds relationships, knowledge, and alternate paths. It never removes or gates an existing clue path because secondary hints are additive. They can only ever make a scenario more redundant, never less, which sits perfectly inside your difficulty doctrine. Easy, medium is always solvable, and hard may have dead ends only from player choices. So the real shape is 3 phases. Excuse me. Oh, yes, and you have a question about AI? Lay it away. Feel free to ask. It's not a cure for the vision issue, though, but it's still nice. Yeah, I imagine that's nice. So you do AI dev and you have a question about it? That's neat. I have a solution to an ever-growing problem in my gaming community that I'm not sure if I can trust AI to code and solve. When you say trust, is it as in you don't think it could actually succeed in the task? Or is it trust in the sense of like you're afraid it would relay that information back to the AI server, be it Anthropic or Google or whoever, OpenAI, like it's going to put that information on their server. They're going to see it. They're going to steal it. Like, well, what do you mean by trust in this scenario? World population in a second. So the spine is the backwards chain from the knowledge goal guaranteed solvable skeleton. The population is the new prerequisites you identified. Bring the full cast, every NPC, where they're stationed, their relationships, and what each one knows. Enrichment is the original goal, while our secondary hints, clues as edges, and draw from the knowledge graph, and then retire the V1 overlay. You're not wrong, and you're not contradicting the backwards chainer. You're saying step 3 is impossible without step 2, and that's exactly right. A hint is a relationship between an NPC's knowledge and a clue. With no populated cast, there's no knowledge graph to source an organic hint from, which is precisely why my V1 had to fake it with a random teller. The core new artifact, the NPC knowledge relationship model. This is the heart of the population milestone, and it pays off far beyond hints. See, like, I feel like Opus, because this is Opus, I feel like Opus is doing very in-depth, minimal features. Whereas, like, Gemini, right now, I don't know what the fuck Gemini's doing, dude. It's... I don't know what the... what is going on? It's been reading the logs and taking no actions for a while now. Like, what the fuck is happening with Gemini? But Gemini is built out like UI. It's got character sheets. It's got saving the character. It's got hallucinations. It's got Gemini has the most stuff done. It's the one I want to show. Like whenever I'm like, hey, Dad, you don't understand anything about programming. Come look at what I've made. Like that's the one I want to show. But then when it comes to the one I want to build off of, I think it's GPT-5. It might be Claude. They're both doing really good at different things. And so I don't know. I feel like Gemini was on a redemption arc, and it's throwing the redemption arc in the trash can. It caught up and passed a lot of things, and now it's like stuck looping in circles. Like what is happening? When Unreal automation tests are run headless, they simulate thousands of seeds. It verifies. Oh my god! This process generates a massive log file. Okay, because the file viewing tool truncated the input, I had to make several successful calls. I was doing this to look at the final test suite summary and verify that the 29 automatic tests passed, which they did. Before this, I successfully updated the locks with the complication. All right, there's got to be a better way. There has to be a better way to do this. It was running the test in like 10 seconds. Now it's doing some async headless call to execute the test that requires it to scan the logs for the results. This seems like a step backwards in an attempt to solve it getting stuck once. That's a queued message. Son of a bitch. All right, hold on. Grab it. Send it. Like, what the did it not send that message? I hate you, game. Oh. Now it's sent twice. Whoops. 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 All right. I play Clone Hero, which is Guitar Hero clone. Okay, I'm familiar with that. Vaguely. I know of it. I know of Guitar Hero. And our libraries are getting massive, and management of duplicates and instrument-specific songs need to be sorted. Examples is my library is over 100,000 songs and 32,000 duplicates. Okay. Are you just wanting it to dedupe the songs based off of title of the song? Or is there some other form? So I'm guessing you're having to download library or like packs of songs from like, I host a pack of all my songs, and then you're like, oh yeah, I want to pull down all of Shini's songs, and you pull down all my songs, but like half of my songs you already have, and that's how you're getting duplicates. And in that case, I think you might just be able to check off a title, and that would be super easy. Assuming that it's like a unique file entry. Since I don't have the game and I haven't played the game, I don't really know the details about that. But yeah, I'm guessing that you could just be like, hey, I want you to deduplicate files in a particular folder, and it would be able to do that for anything. Like, you could do that for your images. It could do that for literally anything. Plus the audio compression form from MP3 or video. Yeah. Makes sense. I think it could easily accomplish this. I think it could easily accomplish it. You would want to have a setup like I've got where it's a terminal instead of going to the web page. Like if you come over to like Claude's web page, meet Claude Design. What the hell is this? Interactive prototype, wireframe slides, and anything else. Shut up. Get out of my face. Get out of here. Like you wouldn't be able to be like, hey, come dedupe my local files here, right? So you'd have to download the CLI, but I think it would be an easy task. Because need a tool to do everything for the beginner to advanced users. Yeah. I think it's very accomplishable that it could do that. It could be like a little like it would be like an executable, and you fire it up, and you could like maybe have it to like have options for what you want it to dedupe. Like, so you could just check file names if you just want a super simple, like I as the user just want to run a super simple thing, get it done, and then like you want it to do all the other stuff, and so you tell it to dedupe the compressed files and things. I don't think you need to be concerned about the hardware specs. Yeah, the program that it makes would not have AI in it. That's the thing. You use AI to make a deterministic program. Not everything needs to have AI. Is there a very simple way for me to, let's see here, download Clone Hero? Download Clone Hero. Yeah, that's Clone Hero. All right, shut up. Oh my God, turn down. Shut up. Download Clone Hero. Download for Windows. C# would be good. Clone Hero is completely open source. Nice. I guess it does matter because the people that might be using it might be on Linux or something else. Otherwise, I don't think I would be concerned about it at all. Go bot left. All right, now how do I download some songs? What the fuck is this? This is Bass Nectar? Well, new Bass Nectar apparently sucks. Do not play the song ever again. Where is that? Remove from my recommendations. The fuck out of here. All right. Gone. Now, where'd my install go? Launch Clone Hero. No, thanks. Just finish. All right, I downloaded the Clone Hero. Now, how do I get some songs on here? I don't want to go to your Discord. Maybe I have to, but I don't want to. Clone Hero song downloads. Download songs. Oh my God. Fingers. Work. Safe site to download songs, please. From the Clone Hero Reddit. Top link. 5 years ago. It's got to be safe, right? Why is this 5 years ago? click back. A Guitar Hero controller. Dun, 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 dun. Where is the links guide? Clone Hero, download Clone Hero leaderboards, especially with custom songs and set lists. Sure. Oh my god. So this is how you're going to get duplicates. You download all from like Guitar Hero, or you download all from like Guitar Hero and then download all from Rock Band, and some of those have some DLC, so that makes sense for how you're getting duplicates right there. Let's see if this will give me some duplicates. File too large to preview. I don't feel like messing with it right now on this exact second. I was hoping this would just be like click, done. But I'm guessing that you can just go off a file name and it'd be super simple. You don't need to worry about any of the other things that you're worried about. Have you done software development before? Or is it an enigma? Is it a new thing that you'd be delving into? Clone Hero song, close that, close Claude, get out of here. Get all that stuff out of here. I am hitting a wall of fatigue mentally, I think. What's up? Okay. Have fun. Yeah, get it. Dance. Not like that. What are you doing? But yeah, I bet you'd be able to get that done. Just get any AI as a downloaded as the CLI, which means like command line interface, and tell it what you want, and I bet you it would be able to do it right away. Tell it you need the user to configure the game's file location and things like that, and I'm sure it would be able to create an application that can knock it out for you in no time flat. I am, however, brain turning to poo and mush, and I have other things I have to do in the day, so I think I'm going to wrap the stream up here and shut it down and play some games for a little bit, like 30 minutes to an hour before I have to head out. Thanks everybody for being here and hanging out. It's been great. This stream was popping. I think we had a pretty good activity today. I really appreciate all of you, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Good chance. Sundays and Mondays are my most likely days to stream, so hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again. Peace out, Girl Scout. Bye. Yeah, thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate you. You're a beast.